You already know that fall is a great time for controlling weeds in winter crops, but fall is also an outstanding time for controlling winter annual weeds, perennial weeds, and even just getting ahead of spring annual weeds in spring crops. And that's really going to be our focus today, is talking about weed control for spring crops yet this fall.
Brian, 2019 has been just a strange year. There's no question about it. And I have never taken as many calls in the fall as I have this year. What do? I've got unplanted acres, number one, that I intend to have planted to a crop next year. And number two, even in the fields I did get planted, wow, as the combine went through, there were still a ton of weeds out there, and I'm concerned about the seed bank and what's going to happen next year, and also just knocking some of these weeds out that are growing right now.
But the good news is we have a lot of great herbicides. They are all cheaper in the fall than they will be in the spring. And if you just simply get them out there, not only can you burn everything down that's there right now, you can leave good residual going into the spring. So we're going to talk about some options for different weeds out there, but I want to start with this, mare's tail. Mare's tail is the #1 winter annual weed that we have a lot of issues with in the Midwestern United States. And in my opinion, it's easy to control. You can go out there with a quart of Banville, you will wipe out 100% of your mare's tail as long as you're spraying a week or two before your first hard killing frost. And even if you spray after your first killing frost, you can still usually do a pretty good job on mare's tail. I just prefer to spray before the frost.
Well, Brian sure does love his dicamba, and that's nice. You can kill things that are up, but it doesn't have a lot of residual, especially not killing residual into the spring. That's why we're going to tank mix that with a heavy residual product like Valor, for example. We're often using 3 to 4 ounces of Valor in the fall to get residual through the fall and into the spring as well.
Well, wait a second though. As you say, we're going to tank mix. We are not necessarily going to tank mix. It depends on what your weed spectrum is. If you're just after mare's tail, just go kill it all with Banville, you're done. Okay, if you're worried about spring kochia, spring water hemp, weeds that are just out of control in the spring, then yes, throw some Valor with it. What we're trying to say here is...
I disagree though, Brian. I think you need the Valor in there all the time.
Guys aren't going to spend an extra $10.
Here's why you need it. Well, you're also taking away from some of your spring application too. But I think you need it because you're going to have some late emergers that come up. And let's face it, if we get a long fall, and in some areas, it's really early fall right now, and there is quite a bit of growing season left, you're not going to even have enough residual to carry you into late November. So you do need to have something in there.
Yep, and again, I'm going to disagree. It just depends on your situation. You might not. On our farm, where we had no-till, and it was just mare's tail and dandelions, we wiped them all out in the fall. Everything was perfectly clean in the spring. We had no Valor. But yes, if you're in a little bit of tillage, you've had a disaster in the past with kochia and these other weeds,
or if you're
by
further
all
south,
means, get some Valor in there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And I would say this, if you haven't ever done a fall treatment, you're like, I'm considering doing this fall treatment. If you're in the state of Nebraska, this is a no-brainer. You have to do this. You have to have that residual in there. And if, again, like you're thinking along Brian's lines, I don't know if I want to spend that money, just do it on one batch. Do a 40-acre batch and leave the other 40 acres of your 80-acre field with just a straight Banville or even with nothing, and then compare in the spring. I think next year, you're going to do all residual product out there like a Valor along with your dicamba or 2,4-D.
The biggest objection most people have is, oh, I don't have enough time to get this done in the fall. I realize that. But what we're trying to say here is you have some fantastic options that are less expensive in the fall than they are in the spring, and you can get ahead of your weeds. It's so important. Take a half day, stop the combine, and go. And the other thing is, this year, let's be honest, a lot of us have a few less acres to harvest because of prevent plant and everything else, so you might have an extra day or two. It doesn't take long to spray a whole bunch of acres.
Fall burn downs and residual products are a great idea if you've got some winter annual broadleaf weeds. But our weed of the week may be a different story. We'll show you how to stop this tough weed coming up next.